Rejoice Deshu, Mrs. Deshu. I'm a mother of 3. I'm married to Pastor T. Deshu. Well, I grew up here in Dzivarasekwa. I went to school here up to O level, that is Form 4. But I couldn't go any further because of lack of anyone to pay the fees for me, lack of funding. So I stopped at O level. That was back maybe in 1999. So when that happened, I started doing some tutoring to other kids in the community. Some would pay, some wouldn't pay. But just that I have this thing about wanting to impart knowledge, to just see someone excel, or maybe to go to an upper level than I did, because I saw it as a big hindrance in my life that I failed to get funding to go further. So as I grew up, from when I wrote my oils, I started helping out some other kids. The parents would just go on to gather some money for them to write their final exams, because I would be tutoring them when they couldn't go to school anymore. And it continued to a point that I started doing some extra lessons. We call them extra lessons, where a kid goes to their schools, but then they will come to me for extra lessons. Some would pay, those with the ability, and some I'll just gather, because I would have seen the potential that this child can excel. This child needs more time. So I would give them that time. When I was still when I was still single, I would do that where I was staying with my mother at my mother's house. And even after I was married, I would still do some extra lessons with some people who would be interested. So one day it happened that when we went to the mountain to pray, the mountain that is just behind our house, we were praying with some women there, and one of the mothers there had a son. He was about 12 years old with him. And then as the day progressed, there came a girl. She was 14 years old by then, and they were joining the group. And after the prayers, I just said, why are you two here when you're not supposed to be in school? Because that is something that I just think of when I see someone who is supposed to be at school and he is not, or she is not in school. So I asked them, why are you here and not at school at this time? And they told me that they had been not in school for many years. For both of them, they were different ages, but they both stopped going to school around grade 3 in the villages somewhere, I don't know where. So when they came here, they were under the care of relatives, and they couldn't afford to take them to school. So I just offered them, and I said, you can come at our house and I'll just teach you how to read, how to write. Because surprisingly or not, the girl who I'm saying was 14 couldn't even spell her name correctly. She couldn't write Bridget correctly. She would miss out. And she would miss out a letter in between because she had not gotten any proper schooling. So I just took them, and we were doing lessons under the tree. Just here, it was here. So we were doing lessons. It was the two of us. And then the mother of the boy that I'm talking about, Oscar, he's no longer with us because they changed to the location of where they live. So the mother went to where she stays, and she told her neighbors. And before any time, the neighbors were also coming. We have heard you are teaching Oscar for free. Can we bring our children? They are just staying at home. And the more I said, it's okay, this mother would go and tell the next mother. So by the time we finished, that was the last year, we started in August. And by the time we finished the term that starts from August to December, we had some 45 children who were coming. And they were different ages, from as little as 6 years to 14, 15-year-old. So that was the group we started with. And then seeing that there was such a need in the community, we sat down with the pastor. And by that time, I had asked the pastor to help me, because I couldn't teach them by myself, all of them, because they were different age groups. So I asked the pastor to help me, and you take the older ones, and I will be with the little ones. And that's when we sat down and we strategized on how are we going to help these kids. And we were saying, we were seeing that there was a greater need. There was a greater need for help in the community, because by that time, even when it was December, some parents would be coming, some grandmothers would be coming, say, I've got these, my grandchildren, the parents are dead, I'm the one looking after them, I'm no longer working, I can't pay for their fees. So we were just telling them, no, just wait, we'll open again when the schools open in January. So when we closed by December, we approached the MP of the constituency, because we were seeing the work is growing and it was a community thing. It was no longer a personal thing. So we went to her and we talked to her, because we had some history with her, because we had stayed next to her house at some point. So we went there and we talked to her, and she was very pleased because we were doing something for the community, and she offered us some help. It was intellectual help, I may say, because she gave us her advisor to be our advisor as well. And this advisor of hers has been working with other charitable organizations. He has been working with big organizations in Zimbabwe. So he offered us some advice. He told us, you must start by registering. You cannot go anywhere without registering. So we put the papers. With his help, we wrote down something. We went to the registrar, and our papers were in progress. And he also advised us that you can't run a school with just nothing, because by that time we were operating, the children would be sitting on bricks that they will pick around the yard. They will be sitting on bricks, and we would be writing on a piece of metal. Sometimes even the chalks we couldn't get, because we were operating at a zero budget. So he advised us that you have to charge at least something, because we are seeing, we were saying then, we don't to just base it on the orphans and the only the orphans, but we want to also extend to the underprivileged. Somebody who has got both parents, but they are not making ends meet, because at the end of the day, our objective is the child. We want the child to learn. So they were saying, even if you approach the parents who are there together, and you ask them to pay as little as $5 per month, $15 per term, I think they will be able to do that for their children. So we gathered the parents of the 45 children we had then, and we said, let's have a meeting. We want to do something for our school. And we gave them that idea, and they were happy, and they chose to follow that idea. And so by the time we ended the holidays, we had opened our arms to others so that we can get more funds. And by the time we opened for this year, that was in January, we were able to buy some chairs. We had even registered a welfare trust under the name Jubilee Welfare Trust. We had even gotten other teachers who we were very frank with them, and we told them the situation. So they came here more on a voluntary basis, but we just told them, out of the $5, if they come, if you get something, we'll give you as well, so that you will not be working for entirely nothing. But even though we have chosen that minimum fee, we are seeing that it is still a challenge to some other parents, because up to now, we are getting into second term, they've not paid for the first term, and we can't say to the child, go back home, because that will be going against our objective, because the objective is for the child to learn. So that's how Jubilee Welfare Trust has been founded, and we are now saying we are operating this study center, which is Jubilee Study Center, under the welfare, because that is the criteria we are using when we are looking for the children to help. Yeah, teaching these children has helped to impact their lives. We are even seeing the changes. We are saying we have only been with them for, say, 2 complete terms. For some, it's only a term, but we have seen changes in their lives, even their personalities, their characters. Some parents are even coming here, some grandmothers are coming here to say, my child has changed so much after you took care of or you took them in to help them study. I was talking about Bridget, the girl who got from the mountain. I'm seeing a change in her life as well, because by now she is able to read, to write, although she's still staggering with some stuff because she has been left behind by her age mates, but she is now in the race with the others. Unlike then, that you wouldn't expect a 14-year-old to race with the grade 3s, but now she's with the almost with their age mates. But and we are seeing that it has helped her. Even her desire for learning has increased, because now she doesn't want to part with this environment. She wants to be here all the time. Even when we were on the holidays, she would come here and give me something to write. You give her work to do. She would go back home. Her whole class has not been coming, but she would be coming here to find something to do, because she's so hungry for the time that she has lost. And we also have another child. We were actually approached by the neighbors. It's not someone from their house or anyone, but when we were walking and the child called, teacher, 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 and there's somebody from around their house was saying, do you teach this child? And we said, yes, she's coming to our school. And they were like saying, wow, it has helped change a lot, because she was a notorious kid, a terror in the neighborhood. She was like, she would beat other children, steal, do any sort of mischief. And we will find in our community, we have got zhigure, we have got children drinking. You see, even a 14-year-old drunk in the streets, you wouldn't notice what is happening with this child. But we are seeing getting them here to come and learn is somehow changing their lives. It's giving them direction, because apart from giving them English or Shona or content or geography, we are also sitting them down and telling them about life. We are telling them to get out of the system that they have been exposed to from their childhood. Because for some kids around here, we have seen it is a cycle that has to be broken by them. Their mothers didn't go to school, their grandmother in turn didn't go to school, so to them it was also going to take them into their grandmotherhood, and they have not gone to school. So we are trying to impart something to them. We'll sit down with them and we'll tell them. We've got another girl, Nyasha. She's a very bright girl, but right now she is around 9 years old. She had not been going to school, but she's a very bright girl. When she came here, she was so shy. You wouldn't even tell if she was bright or not, if she could talk or not. She would just be quiet, and you'd have to take even maybe like let me say, maybe if you talk to her, it would be like you are snapping her out of some dream or something, because I don't know, your mind will be occupied. But you have seen, even right now as we are talking, when they came back today, I was like talking to her and she was saying, madam, how are you? She was happy, and she's now able to greet you first. Unlike then when you would have to maybe wake her up from where she was. And she is now, even when you ask them in class, by the time we finished the last term, she was now putting her hand up, and she would have the right answers, I tell you. But at first when you began, she was so passive, she couldn't speak anything. Maybe it was low self-esteem, but by the more I continued to tell her, Nyasha, you are intelligent, you are brilliant, you can do it. And now she has improved a lot, and we are even seeing a bright future for her. And I was actually talking with the mother during the holidays, and I was telling her, are you making Nyasha study at home? She smiled, and I just saw that even here, it is a problem with her. So maybe if you continue and help her here, it will change a lot. There are so many cases that you are seeing here. The children are changing. The children are, even when some came here, they couldn't dress properly. Maybe because in the community, they'll be just used to running in the mud, playing with everything. And maybe some wouldn't even go to bath, even for 3 days. They wouldn't go to bath. But now you're seeing, if she comes here, she doesn't have any uniform yet. But if she comes here, tomorrow she'll be coming with a different dress. When we started, it would be one dress for the whole week. And you end up saying, why are you wearing this same dress? And she'll be like saying, Mama told me to go with that one. But by the more we are telling them, no, you have to be hygienic, you have to be presentable. We teach them hygiene. We teach them even manners. You have to greet your elders. You have to to speak politely to others. You have to ask when you need something, because for some of them, they wouldn't even ask. Even if she's the one without a pencil, and she wants a pencil from the next person in the class, she wouldn't speak. She would just take the pencil. And that other child would say, this one has stolen my pencil. And she would be saying, I didn't steal your pencil. I'm going to give you back, even with a harsh voice. So it was something like, you see, it's something that is been imparted by the society and something that we want to take out of the children. So we are seeing it is helping a lot. They can now approach you and say, may I please go to the toilet? May I please do this? May I please go and drink some water? It was not like so. When we first took them here, someone would just think, I want to go to the toilet, and stand up and start walking away. And you say, hey, where are you going? And they will then tell you, I want to go to the toilet. But it was because of the community that we are in. It is a community of mixed behaviors, mixed societies, everything you can find here. So it has impacted into the lives of these children. But I'm seeing a great change because of the study center. I'm seeing by the more time we get to spend with them, it is molding them a lot. This work, when I asked those guys to come here, the children, I didn't picture it getting to being this big. I didn't see myself even registering a welfare. I didn't see anything. I was just trying to help a few people, or one or two kids, maybe in my lifetime. But right now, as we are speaking, we're talking of some 175 children we have here. And it is something that has even gone way beyond my capability or my expectation, I don't know. But since it is a work that needs to be done, we are the people to do it, and I believe it is our job. It is our responsibility to the community to do it. So we are. I myself, I'm seeing this thing going even bigger. There are still some people, some are even afraid to approach us as yet. Some we even approach them, and because of their egos, they don't want to come as yet. But we are saying if we can maybe get something that will show them we are headed somewhere, they will be able to take this work seriously. Because a lot of people don't know that we have registered. A lot of people just see this as some school under the shade at the shoes place. But we are seeing it as a great work, and it is a great thing that we are doing for the community. Right now we are taking lessons here under the shade, even under the trees, but we would want to go out of this place. Even the numbers are commanding us to do so. The council is on our tail. They are pressuring us, saying we are not doing so. We are doing something illegal in a residential premise, and it is true. So we want to get out of this place, to get into a bigger place, a more structured building where we can house them from the cold. Right now we have this shelter only, and it is the winter. The children will be under the cold. We will be exposed to the cold, and some of them will get flus. I'm talking about children here who from houses where they cannot even buy a proper jersey. Somebody who is coming to school with their jersey that they have carried on from when they were 4 years old, and now they are 9 years old. And that jersey has been worn out. It is no longer warm, but it is that same jersey they are bringing to school. And for the love of education, we can't send them back home, saying you can't come with that jersey to school. We'll just take them in. And with our shed here, it is not going to be so healthy to them, because the wind will be blowing and the cold will be there. So we want to maybe put something around so that they'll be shielded from the wind. We want them to be in a place where we can put charts for them, so that they will be able to read from the charts. Right now we can't do that because this is a place where people live. If we put our charts even on the space walls that we have, tomorrow maybe we won't find the charts, and it will not be anybody's offense. And on that chart note, we would also love to have some material to help them learn, some material to make learning easier for them. There are materials that have been made for grade 1s, that is specific for grade 1s, that they will need for them to get or to catch what you are saying to them. So we want to maybe get them those stuff, to get them books. Some we even need to supply with books to write on, not to talk of books to read from, textbooks. But we want to make them as much as, to feel as much as anybody in any school would feel. So we want to create a proper schooling environment. We want to make them not, to remove that feeling of being disadvantaged, that feeling from being different from their neighbors, whose child who's going to be to a private school or to a government school and they are staying at home. We want to give them that feeling that we are like anybody else. We are like any child else, irregardless of the fact that their school is being paid only $15 or the other child's school is being paid $1,000. But we want to get them that feeling. And I tell you, these children we're dealing with, some of them, they are from backgrounds or from houses that they've been so much exposed to lack, that when you do something very little for them, they'll be so appreciative, that to the point you cry and you say, this little, something that you want to throw away, if you give them to them, they will be so appreciative. It will be so touching because they have been exposed to lack, they have been exposed to nothing. So we want to create something for them where they will feel wanted by the society, they will feel accepted by the community, so that they will not desire to join Zhigure when they grow up. They will not desire. Some other children here, I was sharing with the pastor, a girl from their class, she was asked, when you grow up, what do you want to do when you grow up? And surprisingly, she couldn't answer that question properly. She is around 11 years old. She couldn't answer that question like a normal ECD child would do. She answered, when I grow up, I want to wash plates. That was the answer. And you see, it is a child that is, and from her background, when we went to her house, it was I can't even explain it in words. Her ambition right now is to get into a normal house, to be able to wash plates under running water. So that's what went into her mind. But we want to continue being with them, near to us, so that she'll get to understand now there is something being called, there's something called a doctor, there's something called a pilot, there's something called an engineer, a nurse, even if you are a girl. So that when she'll be asked that, by the time she's 13, she'll be able to answer it properly. Not just saying, I want to wash plates, or I want to be a mother, I want to be a housemaid, I want to be like that, but to be able to answer it properly.
These and other stories, visit our website www.263chat.com. Follow us on Twitter @263chat and like our Facebook page 263chat.